All right, guys, we are recording. Thank you for joining the Team Spark call tonight. So nice to see all of your faces. And I have a few announcements before we begin. First, March 13th, mark your calendars, will be our 10 Days to Emerald group. That will begin, and you will be learning all about Emerald tonight. So mark that in your calendar. If you are a new coach or you are currently not at Emerald, then you should, and you want to build your business, you should definitely join this group. Or if you have coaches on your team, on your downline that you think might be good for this group, please feel free to invite them and participate and co-host along with us. March 15th is the Pivot Family Call, which all of us are welcome to join as well. And then March 20th, I'm running my free group. Hopefully you guys are all running a free group this month. Free groups are a way to get yourself out there and get invites out there without, a free group is much easier, in my opinion, to invite somebody to than a paid group. So it's a good segue to introduce yourself to somebody and give them an idea or a teaser of kind of what your monthly challenge group is going to be like. And then March 22nd, which basically is going to come right after that 10 Days to Emerald group, is going to be our What is Coaching Happy Hour. So that will be where you can invite your current challengers or other people that you think would be great coaches to join to learn more about what it's like to be a coach. I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. It's just for Team Spark. Pivot is running their own, which if you would like to join that one, you are welcome to join as well. I'm not sure what the date is for it. But this will be just Team Spark. And if you have people to invite to it, it would be really great if we could have, we're going to do the old school kind of one where it's like the one night, what is coaching happy hour sort of thing. I tried the webinars a couple months in a row, which went well, but I think it's good to just keep mixing things up and see what works. So if you have people to invite to that, then you should absolutely participate and share your story within the group so that the people that you invite can see you there. Okay, so let's see here. Just want to do a quick shout out. Congratulations for Success Club for February. Congratulations to everybody on this board. All of you helped lots of people in the month of February. So congratulations, super exciting. And then also just want to give a shout out to the people already on the board for March. So yay, on the way to reaching some big goals, you guys, which is awesome. So great job. I also wanted to mention before we get into the meat of the call about Summit, which is our annual Beachbody conference and is literally so amazing. It's such a great experience. It's in New Orleans this year. It's from July 12th to the 16th. And, just want to say that if you are serious about your business, if you think that you want to grow your business, then I would absolutely recommend that you be at Summit this year. It is a complete game changer, and honestly, it was just such an amazing experience for me to go to. If you've been to a Super Saturday before, then you know that kind of energy, and I would say that multiply that energy from Super Saturday by like 1,000, and that's like the energy that you're going to feel at Summit. It's just completely incredible to be surrounded by that many positive people all at once. And I know Katie can attest to that. She came last year and we had such a great time. The top coaches will be presenting all kinds of information of things that have worked for them to grow their business. A lot of the coaches that you hear on the national wake-up calls will be presenting. All of the celebrity trainers will be there doing workouts. I mean, I've done workouts with Shalene Johnson, Shaun T, Tony Horton. Like, it's pretty amazing. Joel and Jericho are going to be there. And it's just also a really incredible bonding experience with your team. Even though we're all working our own separate businesses and growing our separate businesses, it's so nice that we have this community that can just lift each other up and not be competitive. Like, everybody at Summit is there to help other people grow their own business. And that's one of the things that I just absolutely love about Beachbody. It's just such a positive experience, and I literally cannot say enough amazing things about it. So if you have a goal to rank advance, to grow your business, to do something more for yourself or your family, then I would absolutely recommend coming to New Orleans, because I think it will be completely game-changing, life-changing for not only your business, but just personally. It's incredible. So to join, to go to Summit, there is a fee of $195, which, to be honest, is not that big of an investment. If you think about prices of typical conferences, $195 is really not that much to invest. But that being said, if you are a brand new coach and you hit Success Club consecutively for the first 3 months of working your business, you get to go for a free, you get a free ticket. You earn your ticket. And Debbie actually did that this year. So shout out to Debbie for doing that. She can tell you that it is absolutely possible to do. And here is a photo of the place that we got. This is where Team Spark will be staying. We still have a couple spots left. And, we can also do some floor spots if we need to fit more people in. We can make it happen. We've done it before, and we can do it again. So let me know if you are planning to join us at Summit. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Jacqueline, who is going to be talking tonight about emeralds. There she is. Isn't she pretty?
Oh, thank you.
All right. I'm going to stop my screen share, though, and let you come over here.
So my PowerPoint is super janky. Let me see if I can at least share just to kind of go through. But anyways, hi everybody. It's so nice to see everyone's faces. I've been really bad about getting on these calls. Sometimes I have a 6-month-old, so it's nice to make it a priority, and I'm going to try to keep being present in that. Let me do this real quick. And like I said, it's not pretty. But, okay, so my story, I have always been into fitness. All of us come to it from different backgrounds, but I played college lacrosse at Ohio State. That is where I met my husband in my junior year. So for me, the workout side was always my thing. I was a former gym rat. We live in Akron, Ohio, originally from Maryland. And I'm a speech therapist. I work full-time, hospitals, schools. So for some of you, if you're out of the house working moms, I get that. For fitting this in, sometimes it's tricky. I've been married almost 3 years and have a 6-month-old little girl, Quinn. Thank you for putting that picture, Gina, because I was like, I need to put a picture in here. But that's great. My journey kind of started for me initially with kind of the weight gain bit. We had a really scary pregnancy. I had failed a blood test at like 8 weeks that triggered possible Down syndrome. And I'm a speech therapist, so if that's what it was going to be and that was our journey, that was fine. But we went through the CVS, which is an early version of an amnio. It triggered okay. And then at our 16-week ultrasound, there was like a spot on her heart that could have been Down's again. So it was up and down. We weren't really sure, but by the end, we ended up with a healthy baby girl. I had gained about 55 pounds of a lot of stress eating at McDonald's after OBGYN appointments. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but, so then that started my personal journey of, I had this baby, I loved it, I was transitioning to being a mom, transitioning, to knowing I was going to get back to work, and I had a lot more weight than I'd ever been comfortable with. And so Caitlin Cornell, who's my upline coach, immediate upline, I'd seen her journey after her first son, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. This would be great. It's in the home. I see the shakes. What's about it? And my husband and I had always done protein shakes, but I felt like it more like beefed me up than kind of helped with those nutrients. So long story short, I ended up emailing her, hey, I want to join. It looks like you do a lot with it. And I started that journey pretty quick for me. I started out as a discount coach from the start, but that was kind of because internally I always knew I saw this as like a possible interest of mine. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that. And so I started to love the process. The shakes are phenomenal. I preach to so many people that I swear that kickstarted my metabolism back because I had kind of like plateaued. So I got through and fell in love with the process of, the home workout, not having to send Quinn to daycare, having other people to talk to in that community. And so I kind of came to Emerald, I feel like it was pretty quick. I don't know if that's true or not. Gina might, you know more because you've done this. And honestly, I don't have the slide for that, but I think what helped me a lot was, kind of when I started sharing my story, I had colleagues or teammates from college and they gained a lot of weight. It's easy to do. You stop going to the gym, you stop having time, you're commuting for work, you stop at the drive-through. And starting to see just like that motivation of, maybe it was because I had a baby and I was still working. I don't know, but it started to develop. And luckily, Caitlin had kind of talked through to me about these requirements, which I know some of you guys are Emeralds and Lindsay is one of my new coaches. So hopefully this is kind of like a quick and easy breakdown for this. But making sure there was a coach on each leg, the right and the left, the outer leg. I had accidentally had 2 initially go to the right and not know it. Which I didn't put in here, but in case you need it, I know, Gina, you have an awesome grid, which maybe can get reposted. You had put in one of the Go Green, Go Emeralds on placement, but you go to the My Business, the downline, graphical genealogy, and then you can select, and whichever one is red is the next slot they're going to go. So if you already have one on your right leg, you want to make sure that the left leg is red and highlighted for the placement to go there instead. And then you would click, to select that preferred placement. And if you mess up, which I did a ton, it's easy to do that coach correction change. I'm sure some of us have done that in the past. And then the next thing would be that they're getting that 50 PV, which as long as they're ordering Shakeology, they usually get that on HD or the Performance HD. We know that that's okay. And then the benefit is definitely that $14 for Team Cycle bonus. Ooh, something. And as far as the monetary value of that, and then the other thing is you're getting the free leads. I think someone chatted, but I don't know how to read chat with this up. So if you want to chime in, that's okay. Anybody? No?
I was just mentioning that I think the coach correction is within 24 hours. And
okay.
That's it. So it's just, I didn't know either. And Gina one day messaged me. She was like, you need to change this now.
Yeah.
And so it was really good that she did, because otherwise I wouldn't have had a clue.
Okay, good. Thanks for clarifying that. And then the other thing I'm personally trying to hit always is the Success Club 5+, to keep getting those free leads. I've been a little slow this month with inviting and connecting. And I've still been triggering extra income really because of hitting that Success Club last month, that I've already had some people join who had signed up with Shakeology or something like that, luckily. And I always still email them and I reach out. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I never get responded from people. I feel like I send these emails to try to, welcome them and friend me on Facebook. And I think it's 1 for 20 that comments back or joins my team, which maybe that's typical. Thumbs up if you guys are dealing with that. Yeah, maybe.
I would say that it's pretty typical, but every now and then you get a Mary Covington who, you never knew, and then she joins your group, she didn't even buy anything from me for 6 months. And then or actually maybe even longer, but she was just so positive and inspirational, and I loved having her in the group. And then eventually she was just ready, and she was like, I want to do this. I want to do a challenge pack, and joined the team, and it was awesome. So, so it can happen. So definitely keep reaching out to them, but it is few and far between the people that respond.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better. So that's kind of the overall for that. The last thing I just wanted to talk about real quick was just kind of what's worked for me. I had run this by Gina a little bit because I know everyone has different flares, and it's just something that's worked for me personally. When I started out, I actually wasn't drinking the Shakeology all the time because my daughter had kind of had a reaction while I was still nursing. So I would do like half a shake packet, and I had the vegan ones at the time. So I thought, well, if I'm not drinking it, I might as well like offer this to other people. And so I would, I posted like, hey, first 5 people to like this, I'm going to mail you a shake packet. Now in hindsight, one shake packet does not really show you enough. It might show them that they liked the taste, and maybe then they were willing to kind of like drink the Kool-Aid. So now I try to stick to 3, and I know Gina mentioned sometimes she does 5. And so that kind of really seemed to trigger for me because I think so many people, I actually just did it again, but I'm going to send out 3 this time from having extra Shakeology from signing up my husband. So many people messaged me like, I really wanted to try this, but I wasn't ready to commit the $140. And so last time my percentage was probably like 33 or 40% of who tried it and actually signed up. But those were actually my first 2 discount coaches. And I think total I have like 5 or 6 that signed up because of the trial. So that kind of worked for me. Obviously the other, I'm just making sure I don't forget, the other big thing is the free groups like Gina said, which I'll be honest, I sucked about last month. I ran like my worst free group ever. I did not plan. I was late posting. It was actually embarrassing, and I like apologized to the 4 or 5 people in it, which luckily 2 were coworkers and they were okay with that. So my advice definitely is to invest in making those groups solid and good, which I'm sure some of you guys are already doing. And then the last thing that, again, I've kind of fallen off on in the past week, I've had some job things going on, but it's so true, those 4 vital behaviors. And it sounds stupid but it's real because everyone says it even on the, coach calls. I mean, they're so important. But I've noticed the past week or 2, I haven't been connecting much. I haven't been posting much. I haven't been inviting the personal development. And so I'm pretty stagnant. But when I started out, I was like connecting every day. I was messaging people. I was inviting to my free groups. I was really being bold and okay with the no's, and I think that my business was really pushing forward because of that. So my goal this month is kind of to get back to that a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. That's my goal. But overall, that's kind of been my journey with it. I am really pushing hard to get to diamond. I need to, hopefully Lindsay's on here and she's going to make emerald soon. That'll help. And then kind of just keep cranking a bit on my husband's side. But does anyone have any questions or anything like that? No? So back to you, Gina.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was awesome, Jacqueline. And don't be so hard on yourself. You're amazing. So you've been crushing your business every single month, and you're so consistent. So, but it is good to mention that you had, when you notice that your activities had slowed down, then the results slow down too. I mean, it's just like with our workout programs. So thank you for being completely honest there too and sharing that. I'm going to share back my screen again here. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Diamond. So, and actually I'm going to look back at the chat real quick because I think I've missed every single chat since we started. So let me just see if I'm missing anything before we go. Debbie asked, Jacqueline, how long a day do you spend on your business?
Oh, I didn't mute yet. Sorry. On a good day, I would say probably 1.5 hours. When I was cranking, I felt like I was attached to my phone, even if I was in therapy sometimes, which is bad. And I was like overly involved. But I'm trying really hard to like do my half-hour workout in the morning or at night. I'm definitely sticking to half-hour programs right now. I don't have time for hour-long ones personally. And so I'm trying to crank it during my lunch break, or staying like a half hour later at work. So like home is home, because my husband and my daughter, you know, she goes to bed early, but my husband kind of requested like family time at night. So that's what I'm trying right now, but it's a work in progress. Any advice from anybody is well taken too on the chat.
Perfect. Okay, I think that was all the questions. And I think that, so the coach correction thing, I think it's 36 hours, but if we want to keep it 24 just to be safe, that's probably better. So that, yeah. And really though, like just make sure before they sign up, if you can, to look in your preferred placements, and just select the right or the left side, but before you send over the link for them to sign up as a coach. Of course, if you have 2 out, you're waiting for 2 people to sign up, it can always be a little tricky and you're kind of going crazy. So there is that flexibility to change it if you need to. But yes, okay, great. Thank you, Jacqueline, so much for sharing your story and telling us about Emerald. I'm going to talk a little bit about Diamond, which is technically, it's not the next step after Emerald. The next step is technically Ruby. But I found that in this business, most people tend to kind of jump straight from Emerald to Diamond. And here is the reason why. So here is kind of the outline of what it means to be a Diamond coach. I'm going to move this over here. Okay. So as an Emerald, you have 2 coaches on each side. As a Diamond, you have 4 coaches on the left and 4 coaches on the right leg. And 2 of those coaches have to be Emerald. There has to be an Emerald on your left leg and an Emerald on your right leg. So to be a Ruby, it's 2 coaches on each side and 2 of them have to be an Emerald. I think that the majority of people are able to sign up more coaches than they are their coaches rank advanced to Emerald. So most people end up jumping straight from Emerald to Diamond. And then they might bounce back and forth for a little while. And that's something to note too, that like, even if you reach that goal of the rank advancement, it's not uncommon to drop the rank and then go back up the rank and then drop it again and then go back up. It is completely at every single stage that happens. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've dropped my rank to Ruby, I've dropped to Emerald, and then I bounce back up to Diamond. I mean, it's always like a crazy game. So you want to kind of have some padding on each side too as you're building your teams. You want to make sure that, you know, maybe before you start to build your husband's account, that you maybe just give yourself a little padding before moving on to that. And there's more chats here. Is it by the month that the rank changes? It's by the week. By the week. Yes. Rank changes happen every Thursday, just like payday. Okay, and here is kind of a little activity. Basically, this is the same thing as the screen I just showed you before, except that you can kind of make your little, this is kind of like your Diamond vision board of how you can lay out who you want to be on your team. And, you know, we've talked before about coming up with your avatar, the type of people that you're trying to target. For me, it's like busy moms who, you know, they don't have a lot of time in their day. They maybe have 30 minutes to get their workout in, throw together a quick meal, work on their business. They are interested, but they, you know, they're interested in things like fashion and traveling and things like that. But, you know, we probably all have an idea. Maybe there's a rock star challenger in our group. Maybe there's somebody that we just know. There's an athlete from college that we were friends with. We probably have somebody that we have in our mind that you think would make an amazing person on your team. So a great activity is just to use this sheet and kind of fill in the names of, like, if you had your perfect world, even if you don't think that it's possible, if you had your perfect world, who would you want to be on your team? And then who would be your rock stars? And those rock stars would be the ones with the 2 people underneath of it, the ones with the green circles underneath of it. Those would be your emeralds there. I found that, like, doing these visionary activities, while they might seem silly at the time, writing it down really makes it happen, because then you actually invite those people and then you follow up with them. And there have been times where I've written people's names down and then, like, I forgot to look at, and then I went back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to follow up with that person, you know? So writing it down is so key to make it happen. Why should you want to become a diamond? I mean, for one, the cycle bonus increases. So you're getting a cycle bonus already as an emerald, but as a diamond, it increases even more. And honestly, I think this is where things really change from being a Beachbody coach just as a hobby and for fun to, like, really being a business, to, like, really building something for your future. You know, you start to, you know, lead your own team calls and, you know, try to act more like a leader. But that being said, that doesn't mean just because you're leading your own team that you just quit on your own business, because a lot of people can get into that trap where they think, like, oh, I'm a diamond now, I don't need to hit Success Club anymore, I just need to help everybody else. No, it still should be like 80% working on your business, 20% helping your team. But it also, you start to feel more confident because you feel like you're doing the right things, you're hitting Success Club consistently, you know more about the business, you're confident about the products, you've probably had amazing results by now. But remember again that this is not the end goal, because like I said, a lot of people reach diamonds and then they think like, oh, that's it. And then they're like, whew, okay, I'm done. And then they don't ever move forward and they're constantly defending their diamond rather than exceeding it. And so they, you know, somebody will quit or somebody will drop off and they're like, oh, I got to get my diamond back. Oh, I got to get my diamond back. Oh, I got to get my diamond back. But then you're playing defense and not offense. So remember that, like, even when you hit diamond, like, it's not over. You have to keep that momentum and that pedal on the gas, because as soon as you take the pedal off the gas, your momentum is going to stop, just like that compound effect. So, you know, listening to a lot of the Josh, I can't remember his last name right now, the guy we just heard the other week, his calls, like, shooting even bigger. So Coates, yeah, Josh Coates, thank you, Debbie. Shooting even bigger. So, like, if you want to be a diamond, like, shoot for 2 stars, shoot for elite, you know, the higher you can shoot, the better. Because again, if you cap your lid, then you might hit it, but if you raise the bar, then you're more likely to hit that minimum goal. So ways to continue to grow your team, which Jacqueline touched on some of these, but you know, she had a lot of success with sending people the packets and having them try out Shakeology and signing up as discount coaches to grow her team. But not all of us are able to do that. You know, sometimes it's harder. For some people, it's like this, as simple as just signing up their spouse. And placing your spouse right below you in your business can really, I know it seems like a big initial investment, but honestly, it's such a good move for the long run. So if you can do it, I highly recommend it, because whoever is right underneath you is going to get that cycle bonus, and then it's going to cycle bonus. You know, you're going to get the most of that team volume. So signing up your spouse is a great way to get that one person on your like, and then you only need one other coach to reach Emerald. Recruiting from challenge groups. So looking for those rock star challengers in your groups who are just rah-rah, they're posting every day. that's where I think I've had the most success with growing my team is from my challenge groups. Because it's the people who have gotten those good results, and following up with them though about 2 weeks in, or don't wait till the end of the month when the challenge group is kind of like died down and there's maybe like 4 people that are still posting. Like, talk to them after the first week, after the second week, when everybody's on a high and everybody's starting to see results. Like, that's the time to drop those hints and plant those seeds about becoming coaches on your team. And again, I don't discount anybody. So even if there is somebody who's quiet in the group, I always reach out to them and ask them how they're liking their Shakeology, because some people can really love the Shakeology and they're just not that outgoing in the group. So leading with the discount is another way. Your Facebook friends list. I mean, when I first became a coach, there was that activity to write down like 50 people. And once I got through that, I was like, okay, now what? I literally printed out my entire Facebook friends list and I went through the entire thing, you guys. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go in my cold market. But printing out that Facebook friends list and just going through and connecting with every single person on that list. If you just are doing the Facebook scroll every night and you're seeing the same people every single day, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to dig deeper into that Facebook friends list, because a lot of those people might not even be seeing your posts and they're going to need you to reach out to them individually. Sharing your story, getting vulnerable, sharing your journey on social media. And honestly, in the beginning, I was sharing a lot of my health and fitness journey and my Shakeology and all of that stuff. And I was very successful in hitting Success Club. I gained a lot of challengers, but nobody was joining my team as a coach. And I think it wasn't until I started sharing more of that coach lifestyle in my posts and talking about it more and what I did as a coach, and sharing my challengers results and all of those sort of things is behind the scenes of the coach life. And that really helped people to then start reaching out and saying, well, what is this coaching thing you're doing? Or want to join that happy hour when I did invite people to that monthly happy hour. And again, as always, consistency, showing up every day, quality posts, sharing quality, valuable material with your tribe. And it's also just like making the decision that it's gonna happen. And taking those daily actions to, just believing that it's possible. So let me see if okay. This I just wanted to share as well, even though this isn't rank advancement, but this is something that Beachbody created, I think, I don't know, Katie, maybe like a year ago. It's called the Leadership Ladder, and I know that they're going to start focusing a little bit more on this, or so they've said. I still keep hearing Emerald, Diamond, but they say that they're going to start focusing more on this as for measurement in terms of success and for things like Success Club trips and things like that. So this is the Leadership Ladder, and so I just wanted to share that. But basically, as a business starter, you're hitting Success Club, you're a coach on the team, and you are bringing in, a certain amount of commissions per month. Then the next rank is kind of that team builder, where you're still hitting Success Club 5. And you'll notice, like, all the way up to executive leader, you don't need to hit more than Success Club 5. You can be one of the top coaches in, you can be like a 15-star diamond technically and still only hit Success Club 5. So the next one, so you're an emerald. So it kind of goes along the same lines, similar to how the rank works, but it also has to do with your downlines. And like in Team Builder, you need to have one PS coach with a Success Club points. Or wait, no. So you need to have 2 coaches with at least 1 Success Club point. And then as a team leader, you need to have 4 coaches with Success Club points, organizational leader 6, and then executive leader 8. And then to be an organization leader, you need to have team leaders as your personally sponsored coaches. So I hope that kind of makes sense, but I know Beachbody is kind of moving towards using this for more recognition, which I should probably also start to do on our team page. But so I just wanted to share that as well, since that's going to be important for the future. Oops, somebody has a chat. Let me see. I hit the wrong button. So basically, discount coaches don't matter on the leadership ladder. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, discount coaches are great in terms of, helping you move to the next rank. I mean, I wouldn't say they don't matter, because they do matter in terms of like the week like volume. They do create volume, and things like that. So, but the important thing for leadership ladder is that you have working coaches on your team getting Success Club points, working the business, and helping people. Okay. So just some other tips that I have to rise to diamond, and some of this might be a little repetitive, so I can try to go quickly through this since we are coming up on our time here. But so making those strong connections, making sure that you're doing your vital behaviors and inviting every single day, or at least connecting every single day with people, making that connection a non-negotiable, basically, and making sure that like you're not just emailing people, hey, haven't talked to you since 3rd grade, do you want to join my challenge group? You're making sure that like these people, you're actually connecting with them first, and creating those good relationships. The next thing is helping your challengers get good results, because happy challengers make amazing coaches, right? I mean, how many amazing challengers have you had in your groups who are getting results, who are loving Shakeology, who see that these products are working? Those are the people that get excited, that want to pay it forward, and they want to help other people. They like want to shout it off the rooftops, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, this program. So make sure that your challengers are getting good results. Check in with them, see how they're doing. If somebody is not checked into the group in like a week, message them, be like, hey, you signed up under me as your coach, so I'm checking in with you because I know you had a goal, and I want to make sure that you're still on track and you haven't given up on yourself. So help them get those results, because that's what they paid you for when they joined your group, is to help them get those results and keep them accountable. Hosting the challenge groups, hosting your own challenge groups eventually, once you have enough challengers, kind of branching off and being that leader and running your own groups. And definitely at least running one free group per month, because that's where you're going to see a lot of new people come in. And then to grow your new coaches, getting all of them plugged into a Coach 101, a Coach Basics, have a getting started right call with them to start them off on the right foot. When they join your team, it's very overwhelming. There's so much information. So just having a quick call with them to let them know, like, okay, these are the things you need to focus on, like help 3 people. That's like your main goal, right? Pay off your Shakeology, make a little extra cash, help 3 people. Like that's the main thing. So get them plugged in and get them doing those right things. And then also showing up to everything you can, learning everything you can, team calls, national wake-up calls, the business groups, joining those Emerald to Diamond groups, joining those Dash to Emerald groups, Dash to Diamond groups, staying plugged in, that's going to keep you accountable. And I mean, I honest to God even created that Vital Victories group a lot for myself, because I was finding that my invites were like really falling off track, and I was just getting to a point where I just really didn't want to do them every day, and it was really tough for me to get in that mindset to want to do them. But to know that I started that group and I created it, and I know you guys are looking to me to post in that group. And I know if I don't post in that group, then none of you guys are going to post in that group. So I have to be that leader and show up and be that example to do that. So, so show up, do those things, and keep yourself accountable, and know that, like, know what's going to work for you in terms of keeping yourself accountable. More chats. You guys are chatty. Let's see. Text you progress. Oh, yeah. Some of mine text me too. Yes, National Wake Up Calls are amazing. And by the way, if you haven't heard the Brittany Powers one yet, it is so good. I have to like go back and listen to it because there were so many amazing nuggets in there that I need to like Debbie likes to do, is like write down, because I was like, I heard it and it was so good, but I need to go back. Yes, Caitlin, photo a day. I love that. I do that in my groups too. My group is anti-pictures. Well, you know what? It's all about finding new people every month, and the new people, honestly, new people bring a new energy to the group. And whenever I find that my group is getting kind of dead, I'm like, I just need to get 3 or 4 new challengers in this group. And it's like a whole new life is brought to the group because they're excited to be there and pumped up about it. So, and same with the team. Like when I find our team page is kind of like no one's posting on the team page, I'm talking to myself, like what's going on? It's like you have 2 or 3 new coaches on the page and all of a sudden like everybody is back to life again. It's like something about new, fresh blood in the challenge groups and on the team that really like get things going again. So focus on recruitment, and that should help get that energy back in your group. Another thing to do if you would like to increase your rank to diamond is to schedule a power hour, 1 hour a day. Whenever it happens to work for you, basically this hour is the hour that you dedicate to invites, follow-ups, and connections with other people. So that's not including your workout. That's not including your PD. That is legit just focusing on invites, connections, and follow-ups. So key to really moving your business forward and increasing your rank. Also inviting to the coach open house, and not necessarily waiting to invite to the coach open house. Like if we don't have a coach open house for 3 more weeks, like don't wait to add them at that point, because you're going to waste 3 weeks. I mean, get them on the phone, talk to them, or plan like an impromptu open house like the next week, make it happen sooner, because you don't want to wait those 3 weeks. But we have to be constantly remembering to invite to the coaching opportunity all the time, and not just the challenge groups. And then recognize your coaches who are doing great things. Make them feel good about the things that they're doing right, and celebrate those moments, and when they reach milestones, and when whether it's they posted for the first time their transformation story, or it doesn't have to be just rank advancements. It can be as simple as they did an awesome social media post, or I don't know, something. It doesn't have to be by the book, but the leadership ladder could be good, a new thing, but recognition is so key, and even recognizing your challengers too in the groups, and just pointing out people when they did a double workout, or when they reached a goal that they had set for themselves. Posting aha moments from PD on social media, that can be good, because it kind of gives a little glimpse into, okay, so it's not just all about health and fitness, it's also about personal growth and development, and she seems to really be getting a lot more out of this job than just a physical transformation. It's also kind of like a whole life transformation. So posting little aha moments from PD can also be very inspiring on social media for your tribe. And then again, I've talked about this already, but sharing about the coach life, sharing like I mean, we should be sharing right now that we're on a team call and learning how to grow our business. All of these little aspects of how we fit it into our busy life, because all of us are super busy, and that can be a lot of people's holdups with joining your team, is they think they don't have time. So I mean, many of you are super, super busy, and you do it. So I know, so people can do it. They just need to kind of understand how it all works and how you can fit it in. So sharing about your coach life is super important to grow your team. Just want to end on this quote: you don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business. I loved this quote because none of us can do this alone, right? This isn't just a solitary, just like the challenge groups, they don't work if only one person's posting every day. Our businesses don't grow unless we're all helping people. I mean, none of us are going to rank advance if nobody is helping people on the team. Like, we all have to work together as a team and build each other up and help other people. And then all of our businesses will grow. So I just loved this quote and wanted to share that with you to kind of end. But if anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to chime in.
I just had one last thing. I know everyone wants to go that I really forgot to say, and I wanted to, was my husband is a general manager and does a lot with sales and things like that. And his big thing he talks to me about when I post is, like, in a way, making myself seem not okay so that other people seem okay, which does go with that vulnerability bit. And I know that's so hard. But I think, like, even if it is, that frazzled look, or things aren't put together, or you show that your abs aren't right after your baby, I feel like some of the people that have connected with me, it's not acting like everything is perfect and my life is great. And I'm not saying I'm putting on a face, because honestly, some days it's really hard to get everything done, and we all feel that way. And I think whatever aspect of working woman you are, if you're in the house, if you're out of the house, there's people who connect with that, because there's a lot of people who, don't have kids and they still have trouble working out, or they have kids and they can. And, I don't know. So overall, that quote I try to keep in my head of, like, okay versus not okay, and not trying to preach too much that, like, I'm okay, I did this, I got off the, I got the weight. I don't know. Just trying to just think about how you portray it, because I think if you come off too much as, like, okay, people can't relate to you anymore. But that was just my last thing that I forgot to say.
So it's so true. I'm so glad you brought that up, because people can't relate to perfect. They relate to the struggles. They relate to that, oh, she snuck that Reese's peanut butter cup last night. Like, oh, so did I, like, that's what they can kind of relate to. And they can't relate to perfection. And so we have to kind of remember where we were when we started, because so many of us have come such a long way, and, like, we've changed a lot and grown so much. Like, I'm a completely different person than I was 2 years ago. So I have to remember that the woman that I'm trying to target is who I was 2 years ago, not who I am now. So they will relate to those struggles of, not being able to make it to the gym, and not being able to see your kids, like, because you're struggling to get home from work and you can't fit it all in. And so thank you for bringing that up. That is an amazing point. All right. Anything else, you guys? Awesome. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for co-hosting our call tonight. It was awesome, and you did such a good job. You should be so proud of yourself for rocking out this call tonight. And thank you, all of you guys, for joining in live. We had such a good turnout tonight, and it's so exciting. So love seeing all your faces live, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.